If you like this video, please consider making a donation to Ability. Their mission is to create a culture of understanding, awareness, advancement, and advocacy for individuals with disabilities. Check out their website at abilityerg.org. Hello again, friends. Eric Pearson here, and I'm pleased to report that today I reached 300 subscribers. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you for following my channel and leaving comments. Your support and feedback are greatly appreciated, and I look forward to making more videos in the future. Recently, I took my car to the dealership for regular maintenance and noticed that the sales lot was mostly empty, as in picked over like a Thanksgiving turkey empty. This really drives home the reality of how the pandemic is affecting manufacturing, shipping, and the supply of various goods that we use every day. I sincerely hope that we can all work together to end the pandemic so that our lives can return to normal. These matters give me a new appreciation for modern manufacturing, so I'd like to demonstrate a game called Production Line. It's a simulation that allows you to design your own automotive assembly line. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are at the main menu, so I'm going to start a new game, and I'm going to use free play mode, which allows us to play without any financial limit or competition with all the technology researched, so we get everything we need from the very beginning. I know that some people would enjoy the challenge of building the business from scratch and slowly working your way up, but I'm interested in just showing you what's possible in this game. So I'm choosing the free play option with the medium-sized factory. Okay, so now I have to choose our logo and name our company. So I'm going to use the name Pearson Auto Industries, keep it simple, and we're going to get started. So this is our factory space. There are extra areas that we can buy out should we wish to expand. Maybe we'll get to that later, maybe not, we'll see. If I zoom in, I want to share with you there are green portals, which is where the component parts come in to the assembly line, and the blue portals are where finished cars leave the factory to go to the dealership. These green areas are office space for administration, marketing. We can't put assembly equipment there, but that's okay. We've got enough space to do what we need. So before I go any further, I'm going to, as Dr. Stephen Covey would say, begin with the end in mind. I'm going to set my export slot here, and then we'll work from the beginning out to this point. So I'm going to go to export, and I'm going to drag an export position here, and so there's the export spot. Now I can, with this menu, put in all of the necessary assembly stations to build a car, and as we will soon learn, you can either keep it simple or you can make it very complicated depending on your individual taste and also how efficiently you want your factory to run. But to begin with, I'm going to start with just a basic assembly. So I'm going to start with the chassis assembly, and I'm going to put that right here. Now, it's already alerting me to the fact that it needs a resource conveyor. That's okay, we'll get to that. I also may need to turn this around, so I'm going to demolish this. Let's try this again. Chassis assemble. No, this is where we want it to be. So, okay. So we have the chassis assemble, then we have, and I'm going to put a little space between these. We do the fit body section, then the paint station. Now it's already screaming at me saying no route to stockpile. Let's examine that. I told you that we need to carry parts from these green portals to the assembly line. This is where we need to install a resource importer here, and maybe also another one here. And now we're going to drag resource conveyors here, and also to these other green dots here. And it says waiting for resources. Okay, that's fine. So while those areas are being populated, I'm going to keep on building my assembly line. So this is paint. That's where we left off. Now we're going to use the R key to rotate this. Fit the engine. Now fit accessories. Fit electronics. And let's see, we'll do quality check. And we'll do a second quality check to catch anything the first station missed. And then that brings us over to export. Now you'll notice we don't have any conveyor belts connecting them. That's okay. In fact, it tells us right here, next slot not connected. That's okay. We'll fix that in a moment. But first, let's populate the rest of our line with resources. So here and here, and let's put a resource line here as well. Now we still have to put in conveyor belts. So conveyor. Now when I drag the conveyor belt, I have to make sure I drag in the direction I really want the conveyor to go. I can't start backwards and work back to the beginning. So I gotta start with the beginning and work to the end. So I'm going to drag like so all the way out to here. Then drag over here. Let's drag some more conveyor belt here. And then over to here. And then over here to export. Okay. Now let's see where we're at here. Okay, so I've got my little robots here. Now, I can click on this vehicle and click on this targeting icon, and it will follow the car as it moves along. So I can look at features and defects. And I can drag this window along. So my little robots are busily chugging away. Now I can speed things up a little bit, and so I am. Oh, looks like I lost my track here. Sometimes the mouse gets a little hung up, sorry. Okay, so here we are. And targeting. So right now, paint is a very time-consuming process. Waiting for paint jobs can actually slow your assembly line if you let it. So sometimes I like to build multiple paint stations for any one conveyor line. You can see this is taking a little bit of time. Let's speed things up a little more. Okay, so now I can click on this station and it displays what the current task is and what's happening. It's fitting the exhaust, the brakes, the wheels. Okay, so now we're fitting accessories. Fitting the seats, the windscreen. Oh, going through the quality inspection. Now, is there anything here about defects? Does it say anything about defects? So far, none. And it looks like it's heading for the export line. So I'm going to slow it down. So now, paperwork. And shipping. And the car is out the door. Happy birthday! Okay. So, I just ran through a quick rundown of a basic assembly line. Now, let's zoom in. And we can see already there's a bit of a problem. We've got a bit of a backlog. We can't assemble these things fast enough, and the line of unworked on chassis is starting to pile up, and so these robots have ground to a halt. Now we can fix that. I can take stations down the line and upgrade them. Like, for example, I can do extra robots here, here, and also liquid-cooled welding. So now we've got 8 robots instead of 4. And here in the paint station, I can do early stock consumption, and I can upgrade all slots on that one. And then over here, upgrades, we can do extra robots here. And here. I don't want to do a buy all on the extra robots, because that would also give extra robots to the chassis assembly, which means we would still have backlogs. We'll talk more about how to fix that in a moment. So let's see, early stock consumption, extra robots here, here, and here. Okay. And of course, there are no robots needed for quality inspection. That's for the humans to do. Thankfully. Okay. So let's see how we're doing here. Now, we still have a backlog of chassis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a second line for assembly, but I'm going to add some more dedicated stations. You'll see in a moment what I'm about to do. So I'm going to start with a conveyor belt leading off. This is why, by the way, I put space in between the stations. So I'm going to put in another conveyor here, and then I'm going to put in a conveyor here. Now, let's take a closer look. If I go to chassis assemble, actually not chassis, fit body, I can put a station here to fit the body frame, then fit the roof, and then fit the doors. I want to plan ahead and make sure that I've got some space here. I may want to take another 90-degree turn, but let me put in some resource conveyors to account for this. So these are getting resourced. I'm not going to fully connect these stations until I have everything in line. Okay, so we got the doors. Now let's look at paint. So I'm going to take a 90-degree turn here. I'm going to say paint undercoat, and then put in some space dry undercoat, then paint finish, then dry finish, and then polish paintwork. Now let's zoom out. Okay, we still have a decent amount of space. We're doing okay. Okay, so we got the paint taken care of. Now I'm just going to check through again. We've got paint undercoat, dry undercoat, paint finish, dry finish, polish paintwork. Okay, now we're going to go to fit the engine. Let me check my space here. Yeah, we're still good on space. Okay, so moving along. Fit engine. So I'm going to say, now do I want to do fit engine? Well, for now we'll just keep it to fit engine. I don't want to overdo this because this is supposed to be a basic demonstration. Now, for accessories, accessories do take a little bit of time, so I'm going to say, for this, fit the lights, fit the horn, fit the seats, fit the windscreen, and let's see, air conditioning, and the dashboard. Okay, now to fit electronics, I'm going to take a 90-degree turns here. How are we looking over here? That's electronics. Okay. And then I can put in some quality check stations. Here and again here. Actually, strike that. Let's give the quality check a little more. Let's put in visual inspection, performance check, emissions check, and rework. And then what we'll do is just a simple quality check afterward. Alright. Like I said, there's a lot of flexibility in how you can arrange all of this. You can make this as complicated or as simple as you like. So it's really up to you. Now, I'm going to put a resource importer here, and I'm going to run some resource conveyor lines from here over to here, and here, and here. And then also let's run some additional conveyors here and here. So now we're awaiting resources. So now, while all of these are being sourced, now it's time to actually run some conveyor belts. Hang on a second. Yeah, it says next slot not connected. Yeah, I know that. So let's run some conveyor belts here and here and all the way up to here. Run here, take a 90-degree turn, take another turn, take another turn, and then run through these stations here. Now let's zoom the camera back. Now we're going to run here and to here out to export. So now let's see what happens here. And of course I have to upgrade. Let's upgrade these stations with more robots. And then here in paint, I said paint. Any upgrades here? Yes. Early stock consumptions, high pressure paint nozzles, next generation paint compressors. And here, let's do faster drying, max power drying, and turbo drying. Because everything's better when it's turbo. And polished paintwork, there's nothing more we can do here. Okay, fit engine. More robots. And in fitting the lights, I want more robots and early stock consumption. And the horn. Actually, early stock consumption I'm going to buy everywhere. And then extra robots here, here, and here. Windscreen. Air conditioner. More robots. Now the quality check, I don't think there are any upgrades available. Okay, so let's see how we're doing now. Okay, so now we notice that we no longer have as much of a backlog where the chassis are concerned. So let's take a look here. Now you'll notice that there's a big of a backlog in the paint station, and I did this by design to show the usefulness of having multiple paint stations and also having the process split out across multiple stations to help things move more smoothly. Because you'll notice we've got a big backlog here, but if you look up here, there's not much waiting here. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this car as it's being worked on. There, that's a little better. Okay, fitting the roof. Okay, putting the doors on. And the wing mirrors. Okay, getting the paint undercoat. Drying the undercoat. Okay, paint finish. The car ahead of it just moved along, so that's good. We won't have to wait. Now drying the finish. Oh, we got some upgrades we can do here. Faster drying. Ah, missed that. Okay, so looks like now there's a slight backlog with the engines, but not too horrible. I suppose if I wanted to take the time to rebuild this, I could, but yeah, there's only a slight backlog in the fit engine station, but not too horrible. Okay, our car is starting to take shape. Fitting the seats. Now for the windscreen. I wonder why there was nothing here. Air conditioning? Let's follow our car here. Looks like it's undergoing performance check here. Performance check. There's no defects to be reworked, which is good. And now we're heading for export. I wonder if this car is going to marry Kay. Certainly has the right color scheme. And off it goes. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. So as you can see, our assembly line is moving fairly efficiently. This one, as you can see from the yellow icons here, there's a bit of a backlog here, but things are moving pretty smoothly, and if we zoom in, the backlog on chassis isn't really that bad. The only thing I could do differently is rework the fit engine section to help that move a little faster. Okay, this is a pretty good place to stop, so thank you very much for watching, and join me next time. Eric Pearson, signing off.